Hi people, it's me, Anja, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. The first book on this list is called Painted Devils. For those who don't know, this book was on my May TBR, and it's a YA fantasy sequel to Little Thieves, which I really enjoyed when I read it in January. And this book was such a great, solid sequel. However, when I entered this book, I thought that the series was a duology, but then I discovered at the end of it that there was going to be a third book, which I'm really excited for, don't get me wrong, but I entered this book thinking that this one was the conclusion, only to discover that it wasn't, if that makes any sense. But overall, the plot was super engaging and super intriguing. I felt like the first half of the book was very emotion-driven, whereas the second half of the book was very action-driven, which I didn't mind, but I feel like in the first book, the emotional scenes as well as the action scenes were more like well balanced, if that makes any sense, and not such like a strict half and half. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but basically like the characters were well developed and distinct. I love the romance so much. I do miss like the main core four group dynamic from book one, and I hope that the core four, if you know, if you've read the first book, are more present in the third book. The world building was so awesome and easy to understand. I love that it hooked me immediately. The magic was cool. This book is so good and it's so well done. So overall, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely do prefer the first book, but I am, like I said, really excited for book 3. So anyway, take that as you will, and I would highly, highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called Blood Debts. This story is a YA urban fantasy following a pair of twins who are both investigating their mother's curse, and they both have different relationships with magic. This story is absolutely so excellent, and it's worth all of its hype and so much more. I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars because I really, really enjoyed it. First of all, the two twin perspectives literally like made so much sense, and they really established such strong characters. As for the other perspectives, they made so much sense as well, and they all drove the story forward, and I just really, really enjoyed that. But like the sibling dynamic at its core was so well done, and I loved it so much. The queer representation was so casual, and it felt literally so normalized, and the romance like made so much sense. The plot was so engaging and so intriguing. The world building was so cool and so well done. I love generational magic systems, if that makes any sense. The magic in this book gave me the same atmosphere, the same vibe as like Whale Dreams Descend, Ace of Shades, like blood like magic, you know what I mean? This book was so good and it's so well done. Like I said, I loved the characters, I loved the family dynamics. The plot was so engaging, the world building made so much sense. This book is so well done, and like I said, it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. I'm so excited to read the sequel because like within this one, I have no idea what will happen next. So with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called A Seed in the Sun. This story is a middle-grade historical fiction that follows a young Mexican main character who joins the 1965 Grape Delano strike. And I really, really enjoy this book. First of all, the free-verse format was so lyrical, and it really made the story so much more pretty and vibrant. Second of all, the historical fiction setting was so atmospheric and so educational, and since I knew next to nothing about this time period, I had no idea what to expect, which made the plot so much more intriguing and engaging. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The family dynamics felt so authentic and so well done. Literally, this book is so good and it's so underrated, and in my opinion, it deserves so much more hype. I don't know why I said in my opinion, as if this is not my opinion. Anyway, the point is, this book is so good, and it's absolutely so amazing. I love reading books about social justice and reading books about time periods that reflect modern day, because history always repeats itself. You know what I mean? Anyway, overall, this book was so good. It was really, really awesome and so great. So with that said, like I said, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called At the Speed of Lies. This story is a YA thriller following a young disabled main character as she finds herself in the middle of a conspiracy that involves kidnapped people from her town. I liked this book a lot because, first of all, the plot was super fast-paced and super engaging and intriguing. I really enjoyed how the author talked about how like disinformation and conspiracies can spread so quickly, and how gullible people can be, and how scary that can be. You know what I mean? The characters were well developed and distinct. The romance made sense. The sister relationship was lovely. The disability representation was so great. The main character is a wheelchair user, and I loved how her disability was not like the center of the story. It was so casually like represented, and we loved to see it. But like overall, first of all, like the author's note at the end made so much sense, and I appreciated it because it explained like why the characters were created the way they were, if that makes any sense. So basically, overall, I did enjoy this book. I did like it, but I didn't completely love it, and I don't know what particularly is preventing me from rating this book any higher. But overall, take that as you will. I rated this story 3 stars, and like I said, I would recommend it. The next book on this list is called Second Chance Summer. This story is a middle-aged contemporary following a pair of former best friends who happen to be at the same summer camp. This story is absolutely so excellent, and it's so well done. First of all, the 2 main characters, Chloe and Maddie, were both so well developed and so distinct. And I also loved the diverse representation in both of them. Chloe is sapphic, whereas Maddie is plus size, Jewish, and disabled. And those types of representation were so casually represented, and they were done so well, and I really, really appreciated that type of inclusion. The plot was so engaging and so intriguing. I loved seeing how their friendship developed in flashbacks and also in now time, if that makes any sense. This book is so good. I love their friendship so much. Like, this book is so wholesome and so good, and I had really low expectations for this book because I don't think I've rated a book by this author higher than 3 stars, but I did with this one because I absolutely just fell in love with them, with their friendship, with everything about this story. The camp setting was so atmospheric and so well done. Literally, overall, I rated this story 4 out of 5 stars, and with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Something Close to Magic. This story is a YA fantasy following a young baker's apprentice on a reluctant adventure full of magic, new friendships, and a prince in distress. This book is absolutely so excellent, and it's so well done, and I really, really enjoyed how like whimsical and wholesome it was. This book is so amazing. I just really, really enjoyed it. First of all, the world building was so magical, and it made so much sense, and it was so easy to understand and so easy to digest. The plot was so engaging and so intriguing. The friendships were so lovely and so wonderful, and each character felt distinct. The romance was so cute and so adorable. This book is so fantastic, and it gave me the same like cozy atmospheric vibes that I got from like Margaret Roderson's books, as well as like Flower Heart, that Studio Ghibli low stakes romantic fantasy cozy atmospheric vibe. You know what I mean? Anyway, overall, this book was so good, and I just really, really enjoyed every single step of the way. Like, the title is so fitting because this book was something close to magic. It was absolutely so magical and whimsical and wholesome. I just enjoyed like the adventure, the romance, the characters, the group dynamic. Everything about this book felt so like nifty and well done, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So anyway, overall, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. It exceeded my very low expectations, and with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. So in conclusion, June has been a really like fruitful, plentiful reading month. I'm filming this video on Juneteenth for reference, and I've already read 30 books, which is really, really satisfying for me because like I've read more this month than I was expecting to. So anyway, in conclusion, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the bicycle emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!